Hello, how are you? Today I'm going to tell you about a wonderful bread, super rich in fiber in omega-3 with low net carbs that helps you lose weight, reduce inflammation, keeps you feeling full, and improves your gut health. It's an amazing bread, 1,000 times better than that bread made with refined wheat flour. You're going to love it. I'll even give you ideas on how to make several variations of it at home. It's a bread that I really like because you don't need to let it rise for a long time. We don't waste much time during the preparation. It's super nutritious as well as being delicious and economical. You're going to love it, so stay until the end. You won't want to miss it. Before we start, I want to ask you if you eat bread in your daily life or not. I'd love to see your comment. Which type of bread do you eat the most, and at what time does bread fit into your routine? I'd love to see your comment. Remember to go ahead and like the video. That's really important to me. It shows YouTube that you support the channel and trust my content. And if you know someone who wants more ideas on how to add healthy foods, rich in omega-3 for example, right? Sometimes we think, oh, to get omega-3, you have to eat salmon or tuna. Bread can actually bring you that omega-3. So share this video. Let's help it reach more people and grow our chain of kindness. This bread that we talk about in our daily lives, French bread, white sandwich bread, the modern bread really, is basically made of white wheat flour, refined, bleached with little fiber, and it gets absorbed very quickly, right? So what happens is that right after we eat this bread, our blood sugar rises very quickly, insulin follows this spike, and shortly after there's that drop in energy, even more hunger, difficulty controlling appetite, and the urge to snack throughout the day. When we change the base of what we use to make our daily bread and start using other highly nutritious foods, we notice a significant improvement in our overall metabolic behavior. The base of this bread I'm going to tell you about here is made with ground flaxseed. And flaxseed has a very interesting benefit when we compare it to wheat flour. Because it has much more fiber, it provides much more satiety due to the fiber and the healthy fats it contains. I'll tell you more about that. And a very significant amount of plant-based omega-3, the omega-3 precursors, ALA. So it's not just a healthy swap, it's truly functional and metabolically wonderful for you. As I mentioned, flaxseed is very rich in omega-3, which is alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA as we call it, a type of plant-based omega-3. And omega-3 is a nutrient that plays a very important role in modulating inflammation, in the function of cell membranes, and in overall metabolic balance. There's something that many people don't mention, which is also found in flaxseed, lignans. Flaxseed is the largest plant-based source of lignans there is. They help balance our hormones and protect our cells. In other words, you're not just eating fiber and healthy fats. Flaxseed provides you with a compound that helps your entire endocrine system, the secretion of hormones themselves, to function in a more stable way. There's also a very important point. ALA needs to be converted into EPA and DHA, which are the more active forms. So in this way, when we manage to achieve good conversion, we can actually improve the balance between omega-3 and omega-6 in our diet. So what happens? Well, most people already have a large accumulation of omega-6 from their everyday diet. So consuming more omega-3 precursors or omega-3 itself is very important for us to balance these fats in our bodies. Flaxseed is also very good, and this bread is very filling, as I mentioned, because of the large amount of fiber it contains. Flaxseed is very rich in soluble fiber, which is a type of fiber that brings something very important. They slow down digestion, causing blood sugar to rise more slowly and gradually, precisely because the food stays in the system longer. This greatly improves digestive transit, enhances intestinal health, prolongs satiety, and feeds the good bacteria in the gut, which directly influences inflammation, digestion, and appetite control. So it's a truly wonderful combination. So adding flaxseed to your daily routine is fantastic for our health, and bread is a very practical way to do that, right? Everyone eats bread at least at some point during the day, so making a healthy flaxseed bread helps you ensure that daily intake, sometimes even more so than thinking about adding salmon or sardines to your everyday meals. Many people think, oh, so that's easy. I can just take a little bit of flaxseed and sprinkle it on top of the bread I already eat, right? That way I'll get these benefits. You won't. First, because the proportion of wheat flour to flaxseed will be much lower, so you can't really compare the two things. Second, the ideal is that you grind the flaxseed so that these ingredients, especially the healthy fats, the lignans, are more available, as well as the fiber itself, because flaxseed is very hard, right? So the best thing is to grind it right before you start making the bread or the wrap I'm going to tell you about, because then it's a good option for you to have something practical throughout your day-to-day life. So, a very important detail is not to buy flaxseed that has already been ground. That's a good point. Grind it right before you start, because flaxseed has a lot of antioxidants, so it oxidizes quickly. When it comes into contact with oxygen, it becomes more reactive, it seeks out those free radicals, those unstable compounds, and it oxidizes right away. So that's what gives that taste people talk about. I don't like the taste of flaxseed. Flaxseed is bitter. Flaxseed is weird. It's because it's already rancid. If you grind the flaxseed right before you start preparing your recipe, you'll see that it doesn't have that bad taste, and you can definitely eat it daily. I'll give you a basic ratio for flaxseed bread here. But remember that I have many flaxseed bread recipes available for you. There's the big loaf for sandwich bread. There's the flaxseed and psyllium bread, which even looks like that old-fashioned bread. There's the wrap bread, that skillet-style bread for making pizza or roll-ups. There's the individual bread. I have a lot of flaxseed recipes. And remember that flaxseed is similar to chia. I also have some chia bread recipes. I'll leave my playlist of flaxseed and chia recipes here because they're even grouped together. But as a base, you use 2 cups of ground flaxseed before you start. About a 1/4 cup or so of seeds. You can use sesame, sunflower, pumpkin seeds, a pinch of salt, a tablespoon of olive oil, and about 1 to 1.5 cups of warm water to hydrate the flaxseed. You can choose to add eggs or not. As I mentioned, the recipes can vary depending on whether you want to make them richer or lighter, or if you want to make a purely vegan recipe or not. This bread is very densely nutritious and very satiating, so it will naturally make you eat less both during and after this meal. That's also very good because the industry wants you to eat more, right? So they want you to eat bread made with wheat flour because it spikes your insulin and makes you hungry afterwards. This bread will last you quite a while, so you can even keep it in the fridge to eat throughout the week. I'm sure you're going to love it, and tell me down below what you would eat it with. Would you eat it with jam, with a spread, avocado mayo, or a chicken spread? I have a playlist here of spreads, pâtés, and mayonnaises, and another one of healthy jams that can go perfectly with your flaxseed bread, and I want to know what you would eat it with. Write it for me in the comments. Go ahead and like the video, right? That way you help me out and share it with someone who will enjoy it, with someone who needs it. Let's work together to grow this chain of kindness. That's what I want here on the channel. See you next time. Bye.